Tax is due? Use your Sagicor Bank Business Credit Card and earn unlimited rewards. The time by Sagicor Bank is...
Tonight in CVM News at 7, we did all we could. Health officials respond to newborn death at Cornwall Regional Hospital. They were told JTA bus adamant authorities were notified about inappropriate behavior at school shelters, and beach battle. St. James residents sue state entities over beach access. Later in traditional flavors, toppings on fritters. In the business report, breaking through the billion-dollar revenue barrier. While in sports, all eyes on Bunny Shaw as Reggae Girls take on Antigua in World Cup qualifier at the office. Hello from Kingston, Jamaica. This is CVM News at 7. It's Friday, April 10, 2026. I'm Curlin Brown. Thanks so much for joining us. And we begin with a CVM News follow-up. The Western Regional Health Authority is extending sympathies to the family of Ramontay Ranger, the baby who died shortly after birth at the Cornwall Regional Hospital last weekend. But the leadership insists, based on what was documented, doctors did everything they could to save him. More from Natasha Williams.
Almost 1 week after the death of baby Ramontay Ranger at the Cornwall Regional Hospital, clinical coordinator for the Western Regional Health Authority, Dr. Delroy Frey, says there's nothing more the hospital could have done to save his life.
All the necessary steps, without any bias at all, were employed in order to have a successful outcome. So we are all saddened by it. You know, when you try your best and you just didn't produce.
However, the mother, Shandale Ballantyne, says before being admitted on the labor ward, she requested a C-section.
I beg, before I go up on the delivery, I beg them, say, I know I not can manage because I was in pain from the day before. The contraction pains and the pains that I was feeling, I felt like I wasn't going to be able to push under all of that pain. But they're saying that with the high blood pressure is risky and it's all of that and all of that and all of that. But it's a risk that I would have been willing to take because maybe my baby would have been here in my arm. Now I feel I have lived with the trauma.
Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton, in the meantime, says the case should be used to improve the health system.
Whatever lessons we can learn, to the extent that there are lessons to be learned, we will certainly apply those to making the system better. However, I think it's important that while it is a very tragic situation and we must show full support to the mother and family, and that has been offered, we also be careful to manage the accuracy of the information to ensure that whatever has transpired, wherever there needs to be accountability, there is, transparency there is, lessons learned there should be, but we do not apportion blame if the evidence does not support the blame being pointed in any direction.
Dr. Frey says as they are now awaiting a post-mortem on Ramontay's death, the team has informed Miss Ballantyne on the procedures going forward. But for now, the grieving parents only want answers.
Definitely I'm healing oneself, and definitely I really want to know what really take place between the hours and when him stop breathe. I really want to know if there wasn't enough oxygen there for him, wasn't anybody paying attention to him.
start to know that the hospital will have 2 incubators in a time like this where the birth rate is low and so much things is happening. I think baby mothers would be treated like royalty at this point because they're needed right now.
Opposition spokesman on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes, has called for an independent inquiry into Ramontay's death. He blames the baby's death on a system of sustained institutional failures under this administration. Natasha Williams, CVM News.
Meanwhile, there's a call for a working ambulance in Westmoreland following the death of a Canadian tourist Wednesday night. The female who fell from a building had to be rushed to hospital in a police service vehicle. A situation stakeholders lament is unsustainable. Kevin Black tells us more.
Following the tragic death of a Canadian tourist in Negril, Westmoreland, tourism stakeholders are urging visitors to exercise greater caution while visiting the resort town. The appeal comes after 59-year-old Cynthia Bedard fell from a balcony at the Sunshine Village Plaza in West End, Negril, and died later at hospital. Immediate past president of the Negril Chamber of Commerce, Elaine Bradley, described the incident as very unfortunate and extended condolences to the family while urging visitors to remain vigilant.
As you know that there are some condos above the Sunshine Village Plaza and there are people living up there. Obviously they are not restricted with what they do, so they might have their little festivities and things. From what I heard, that Canadian guest was there with a friend and they were drinking, obviously having fun and whatever, and that she was drunk and then maybe lost her balance and fell over the balcony.
Member of Parliament for Western Westmoreland, Ian Hales, says Negril remains one of Jamaica's leading tourism hubs and is encouraging visitors to enjoy the destination while taking necessary precautions.
To the wider public, I just want to say, look, we know that the tourism dollar is important to the people of Jamaica and Negril in particular. But we want every tourist that comes on our shore, rest assured that we want every tourist that comes on our shore here in Jamaica to leave and go back home happy and go back home with the Jamaican experience and the Negril experience of casual. So once again, on behalf of the people, we offer our sympathies and our condolences.
Meanwhile, in light of the tragedy, Bradley expressed, Negril has been without a functional ambulance since 2025 after the last unit was damaged in a crash and has still not been replaced.
And it's sad that the police vehicle, who is supposed to be catching criminals and protecting and serving, has to double up as an ambulance to take people if there's an accident to the hospital. Negril sometimes is packed with tourism even after the Melissa disaster, so we need to make sure we put the things in place so that our citizens and our visitors are safe.
Kevin Black for CVM News.
A St. Elizabeth woman is dead following a robbery in the Red Bank community Thursday night. She's been identified as 39-year-old Nicola Facey. Reports are sometime around 11 o'clock. Facey was on her way home from work when she was pounced upon by a group of men traveling in a motor car. It's understood the men robbed her of her belongings, then shot her. She was rushed to hospital where she was pronounced dead. Police in the parish and councillor for the area are appealing to the public for help to find the perpetrators.
The Red Bank community is one of those communities that's very quiet. We have had some issues in recent times as it relates to scamming, and there are some players in the space that we are targeting. I want to appeal to persons in this area who may have seen or heard or know anything to share it with the police. We are ensuring that the persons who are responsible for this heinous act be held to account.
Things like this cannot be allowed to happen, and I am called upon the city staff this area to let the police know what they know and to give all the information so you can bet assured that all the information that we are given will be kept secretly. So I'm appealing to the citizens. Come and say what you know so we can catch these wicked criminals.
The Red Bank community.
To this update, 4 more employees of the Jamaica Urban Transit Company, the JUTC, have been charged as part of an ongoing investigation into financial irregularities at the company. This brings the total number of individuals charged to 13 for embezzlement and failing to issue tickets are 31-year-old Kimani Brown, 41-year-old Nikisha Bell, 43-year-old Telborth Fraser, and 53-year-old Lanford White. Brown faces 11 counts, Bell 30 counts, Fraser 22, and White 6 counts. Of these offences, reports are between March 10 and April 2. The employees, all drivers, allegedly collected bus fares without issuing receipts. The matter was reported to the police, prompting the investigation. The Jamaica Teachers Association is defending its claim authorities were notified of inappropriate activities happening in full view of students by displaced residents using schools as shelters. Speaking to CVM News on Friday, President Mark Malabver continued to voice safety concerns, insisting stakeholders have a duty of care for the nation's children. Here's more from Crystal Williams.
Since Mark Malabver's controversial remarks that school shelterees are having sex in full view of students, there has been strong pushback from government with increasing calls for evidence. But the president of the Jamaica Teachers Association is continuing to defend his claim, insisting the ministry was notified.
Not because you're not here, not because there are no formal reports, doesn't mean that certain activities are not taking place on the compound. Yeah. So in terms of the specificity of alleged sexual interaction, no, that was not made at that point in time, because at that point in time, we never came across that. We did not have that information yet at our disposal. If it is true, it violates, that's potential implication for the Child Care and Protection Act.
The Ministry of Education said it made its checks but did not receive any official reports on the safety of students being compromised by inappropriate interactions between children and adults on school grounds or reports of sex in view of students. As of April 9, 8 schools are still being operated as shelters, housing roughly 81 shelterees. Mr. Malabver argues the situation as is undermines teaching and learning.
When you have shelterees on the school compound, they are occupying legitimate classroom spaces. And on the other side, what you're seeing is that while they're occupying these spaces, our students and our teachers are intense, and are trying to engage in teaching and learning. We have seen videos, for example, that whenever the rain falls, those tents are unusable. And whenever the sun is shining, they are so hot that sometimes the teachers and the students cannot stay in.
He says despite reaching out to the Ministry of Local Government to discuss a timeline for having schools cleared of shelterees, he has not yet received a response.
We have always asked for a timeline as to when the shelterees have been out. We have asked for meetings to have discussions around this matter. We have written letters to local government. We have written letters to the Ministry of Education. We have written letters to ADPEN with respect to shelterees and the need for them to move out. None. In terms of the letters, we have not gotten a formal response from local government in terms of the letter.
He also says he contacted the Ministry of Education regarding a timeline.
May 8th is the deadline that they have given. That is just around the corner. We hope and expect that they will honor that. If that is not done, then we are going to revisit the matter.
Crystal Williams reporting for CVM News.
Now there's concern again about the quality of remedial works on Waterworks Road in Manor Park, St. Andrew. It was patched after the road collapsed under a motorist on Wednesday, but heavy downpour on Thursday washed it away again, leaving it badly damaged. Carla Ramdeen has that follow-up.
After remedial work on Wednesday, heavy rainfall between Wednesday night and Thursday afternoon has left the road here in Waterworks St. Andrew badly damaged again.
I am happy to see that today a section is being paved, and I hope they will continue and repave the whole of Waterworks Road and Broadway Road so we can have decent paved roads again. I don't know how this situation has been allowed to happen, But leaving the mall only on the road for any longer is going to cause the situation to just get worse.
The issue highlights concerns raised by civil engineer Dr. Wayne Reed that the KSAMC has serious shortcomings with oversight of works like this one.
The problems that we have is that there is not necessarily good supervision of the work being done. There are hundreds of miles of roads in the corporate area. A large percentage of them are in a bad condition and need some degree of resuscitation. It is hardly likely that you're going to have the level of supervision, technical supervision on the works when there is so much to be done and so much to be done properly.
Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
And CVM News at 7 will continue right after this.
New KFC Saucy Wings. Hot and spicy wings tossed in our irresistible sauce. Available in sweet red chili and citrus chipotle barbecue. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes. Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Jason has watched every World Cup from here, but not today, because he made all his purchases with Visa and won a trip to the FIFA World Cup 2026. Whoever uses their Visa the most wins. Pay with...
Welcome back. As the entertainment and tourism industries look forward to an economically beneficial Carnival season, Chairman of the Jamaica Carnival, Kamal Banki, announced that bikers and quad riders will not be permitted to pass through the event's barricaded areas due to safety concerns. The measure, he says, is intended to protect participants and spectators and will be enforced by a team of 300 events security and police personnel.
One of the things I also wanted to ensure is that in the spectator and carnival zone where we have our barricades and our parades are marching, that the motorcycles and quads are not going to be permitted and part of those areas and routes. And we are asking you to use the same parking lots and park your motorcycles, mopeds, scooters, quads, and come and enjoy a good day of foot parade and steps.
Meanwhile, during his third Carnival season as mayor, Andrew Swaby says no structures will be allowed across the roadway or along the median due to safety concerns as well. He made the announcement during a meeting with Carnival promoters at the KSAMC office. He also says all solid waste arrangements will be organized and approved by the NSWMA, and structures should be approved by the municipality's chief engineering department.
Each band or watch party would have submit something to the National Solid Waste for their
approve for their recommendation for approval to us. I'm not sure they would have communicated to the production team when they are coming for inspection, because safety is of paramount importance.
Residents of Flanker and neighbouring communities in St. James are standing firm in a growing months-long legal battle over access to Flanker Providence Beach, insisting the land belongs to the people. The community members carried out a beach cleanup on the property earlier this week. Amoy Harriet has the details.
When I was smaller, me and my cousin, my dad and my uncle usually bring us to the beach, this beach, and we come and play and enjoy ourselves. But by growing, you know, things change.
Shonda has lived in Flanker, St. James for all her life. The beach she's referring to is the Flanker Providence Beach. Like her, this beach holds memories for many.
There were craft vendors there, traders there. There was music. My first two-piece that me feel like me big at this beach.
The property is currently the subject of a lawsuit being heard in the St. James Parish Court, scheduled for continuation on May 5. The suit was brought before the courts by residents of Providence and Flanker last year, with support from the Jamaica Beach Birthright Environmental Movement, JABEM. The defendants are the Commissioner of Lands, Real Estate Agency, Le Cap Rivera Estate Limited, and the Airports Authority of Jamaica. It came about after Sandals Resorts International indicated its intention to develop the beach, including plans to build villas and overwater bungalows.
By doing so, that will dispossess, that will displace the community from this space. The space is used by fisher folks, it's used by recreational users, right? And it's used by spiritual community. It is linked to the cultural heritage of Montegonians. It's linked to Flanker. So we can't allow, for another piece of beach to be lost to the tourism product.
Dr. Devon Taylor is president of JABEM. He's doubling down on his position that consideration must be given to the rights of the residents regarding the disputed land.
So what has been projected in Jamaica, that exclusive beach and private beach are necessary for the success of the Jamaican tourism product, is a lie. It's a blatant lie told to us by our government, right? And enforced by the hotels who have license to the beaches them to exclude the Jamaican people, saying they are not, compatible. No, there's no mutual exclusivity that you must have hotel beaches and then local beaches. What that is in Jamaica is segregation. So the hotel industry has driven a segregated beach model in Jamaica that we must abolish.
Now, residents of the community and members of JABEM carried out cleanup activities at the beach recently. They insist they've had unrestricted access to the property for over 60 years, and this shouldn't change.
We're showing Jamaica what it needs to protect and preserve our asset. Our government say our beaches are asset, and that is right. But what you do with asset, you keep asset for the next generation. You don't sell it. So, in contrary to what they are saying that we are troublemakers, no, we are Jamaicans who believe in preserving our beaches for the next generation.
Them things that we are doing this now, we are fight Sandals. No, we are not fighting Sandals. I think Sandals, Adam and SRI, they are multi-millionaire, billionaire. We can't fight them. I think they have enough. So why do they need this? How much million per year this little property they're gonna get from it more than leaving it for the public of the people? Develop something for the public of the people.
Amoy Harriet for CVM News.
Fresh discussions are emerging around Jamaica's offshore oil potential following new data from United Oil and Gas. Now, while the findings have raised hope about possible economic benefits, economists are urging caution, pointing to both opportunities and risks. Akeem Ored has our CVM News follow-up.
The latest developments in Jamaica's offshore oil exploration are sparking national interest, particularly around what it could mean for the economy. Economist Janine McEwen says under the current production sharing agreement, Jamaica secure a sizable share of the revenue.
We have not spent any money in this exploration, and to be guaranteed 42% in
most scenarios is actually great. The fact of the matter is the risk that is associated with this particular kind of projects or this kind of drilling is really high. It's a very high risk kind of exploration, and Jamaica is not bearing any of that cost. So we have to look on that to say that, hey, we'll be providing employment, plus we'll be raking in a lot of revenue from this kind of project, and we're investing basically nothing. So it's actually great in any scenario whatsoever.
However, he cautions that the country must carefully consider the opportunity cost of pursuing oil. Investments in renewable energy, tourism resilience, and other key sectors may offer more sustainable long-term returns.
It will impact our economy very, very good in a very significant manner. We have been growing at that single digit, and I believe that if the discovery is made, and with the approximation of around 7 billion barrels, the figure has been given at the amount we can make from it, I think it will be a great addition to a revenue stream, but given how tourism has proven to be very fragile and very fragile to external factors. I think even so much now with even the war in the Middle East, take into consideration how much we depend on oil here as a country, if we can really find that and we can manage it properly, it should be really a significant boost to our economy.
Still, the potential upside cannot be ignored. McEwan notes that if commercial quantities of oil are discovered, it could significantly impact Jamaica's debt profile and overall fiscal stability.
Mind you, we will be having another stream of revenue, and we would have seen how great we would have dealt with, prior to Melissa, we would have dealt with our debt. So if we now get a new stream of revenue, while we don't have to borrow, that will impact our debt significantly. I would foresee, if it is that we should find oil on a commercial scale within the next 2 to 3 years, I believe that it is possible that we can be a debt-free country in 5 to 10 years.
Beyond direct government earnings, oil exploration could also generate wider economic benefits, including job creation, infrastructure development, and business opportunities.
When there is further analysis or deeper analysis being done, when more companies, because a lot of companies want to get on board now, and it's pointing that oil is here. So I think as a country, we should be positioning ourselves for these jobs, and if we can do some form of training before even it is, that would be great. So we can have many of our youth which are disenfranchised, which are now unemployed, which youth unemployment has been an issue within this country. We can really maximize from that, and as it relates to local industry.
As Jamaica weighs its options, the balance between economic growth and long-term sustainability remains a critical consideration. Reporting for CVM News, I'm Akeem Art.
Still more to come. We'll be right back.
Style is no scammer nor style me.
From the market to the farm to the office, money talk is everywhere. But are you making sense or nonsense? The Bank of Jamaica brings you common sense with BOJ. Real stories, real laughs, and real lessons to help you protect, grow, and manage your money. Mattress savings.
At least my mattress. No charge me to sleep on it.
Partner plan.
Remember last year we needed our payouts early? But Miss Pam gave it to her cousin first.
Or a sketchy loan flyer.
Electrifying deals.
See why making the right financial choices is pure common sense. Brought to you by Bank of Jamaica, empowering everyday Jamaicans one episode at a time.
Grandpa, it's 2026. You can't keep hiding all your money in every single pocket forever.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
This is Flow,
Jamaica's fastest mobile network, as verified by Ookla. It's the result of a complete network rebuild, with more power backup to reduce outages and satellite backup for greater mobile stability. You can even make regular calls using Wi-Fi. Welcome to our new era of connectivity, and we're not stopping there. This is Flow, Jamaica's network.
New KFC Saucy Wings. Available in sweet red chili and citrus chipotle barbecue. KFC, it's finger licking good. The time by KFC is
7:30. Thanks for staying with us. Football is achieving what years of other interventions failed to do, uniting young men from separate communities into the same team. In a bold peace-building push, youth from Kingston, St. Catherine and Clarendon traded stigma and geography for teamwork, leadership and dialogue. Javoni Hamilton reports.
On a field where community lines might once have divided them, young men from 7 different communities stood shoulder to shoulder not as rivals, but as teammates. The initiative led by the Youth for Development Network used football as the vehicle to unite participants from communities across Kingston, St. Catherine and Clarendon, placing them on 4 symbolic themes: unity, change, honor, and peace. Founder and director Andrea Wilson says there was little resistance to integrating players from different communities, largely because many had already built trust through sport-based intervention programs over the past 3 years.
We have had 7 different communities combined, but we have 4 teams representing team unity, team change, team honor, and we're looking at team peace that will make up the complement of the team here playing today. And so you're going to tell that they are from different communities, even how they form a team, form a bond to ensure that they're representing what we're looking to help them to understand. That irrespective of where you're from, the stigma, the geography, you know, we all experience the challenges as humans, and if we can understand and connect in real ways, that is what they're understanding today.
Beyond the knockout competition, the day also featured life skills and employable workshops, along with discussions on gender-based violence, reflecting what organizers describe as a holistic model of youth development.
Even on a day where traditionally you might just have a tournament and you have a little cash prize and thing, but we want to demonstrate that it's beyond just the tournament and the championship, but to embody the holistic approach, using the sport, the football as a hook, and have real conversations across the workshop activities.
The initiative forms part of the organization's 15-year drive to use sport as a proven tool for resilience, inclusion, and sustainable community change.
Personally, I thought that some man would have said, boy, I don't know this player, so I not play with him and may have me start. But we have had engagement with these groups before. So it's really highlighting and recognizing that definitely sport, as the theme suggests, building bridges, breaking barriers. We are doing that in a real way, bringing young people from Kingston, Zozos, from St. Catherine, and from among different spaces, districts in Clarendon, to be in our space working together as a collective.
The Peace-Building Football Initiative unfolded on Easter Monday at the Versailles Sports Complex in Clarendon. I am Javoni Hamilton for CVM News.
And now our business report with Joel Crosskill.
Lots to share with you in the business report today. From the annual report of the AMG Packaging and Paper Company, whose general manager, Michael Chin, reported on the outcomes of operations in 2025.
For the year ended August 31st, 2025, the company achieved profit before tax of $133 million, representing a decline of 30%, or $57 million below prior year 2024 of $190 million. Revenues for the financial year ended August 31st, 2025 was $973.4 million, representing a decline of $26 million or 3% below prior year 2024 of $999.6 million. This decline resulted from increased equipment downtime, lower production output, which was experienced in the fourth quarter of 2025.
The next phase of AMG's manufacturing overhaul should see upgrades to its core production equipment. However, with expertise to repair the machines currently in operation, currently sourced from China, shareholders asked AMG Chairman Mitri Siaga if know-how could not be located closer to home.
In new equipment that we're looking at, we are looking closely at how the servicing component would be handled.
Right. Okay. Where they might have to pay the costs to come and pass.
Correct.
The company, which produces corrugated boxes for a wide range of sectors, says the latest investments are aimed squarely at boosting efficiency and lowering production costs.
Total manufacturing cost was $629 million, representing an increase of $13 million or 3% above prior year of $616 million. The main contributing factors to the increase are equipment repairs, maintenance, and the increased cost of fuel. The company has recognized the need to reduce this cost and improve efficiency and engage the services of a specialist during the fourth quarter of 2025. Total operating expenses reflected a net increase of $20 million or 10% above prior year 2024. The net increase resulted from movements in administrative, selling, and distribution expense and depreciation. Other comprehensive income of $74 million resulted from the revaluation deficit in property, plant, and equipment.
While for Chairman Mitri Siaga, the company's ambition to elevate revenue above the billion-dollar mark will not only be achievable, but in time become the standard.
When this board first mentioned to the management that we wanted to set a stretch target of $1 billion in sales, it was kind of an out there target. It kind of gave people some angst as to whether or not we could really reach it. Now, we're hovering right around that $1 billion mark, and it's become the new norm. And I assure the shareholders that the board is not going to rest until our new norm has the one in front to ensure that the $1 billion is secured each and every year in sales.
And that was your business report. I'm Joel Crossgill.
With Akeem Oret.
We begin with news in the region. Grenadian and Venezuelan leaders set an ambitious agenda of cooperation during today's official visit by acting Venezuelan President Delcy Rodriguez. Grenada Broadcasting Network tells us more.
Acting President of Venezuela Delcy Rodriguez said the two nations had today set a start date for a series of cooperation programs. The remarks were made following a meeting with Grenada's cabinet during her official visit to the country today, her first official engagement outside of Venezuela since assuming office in January. The countries are marking 49 years of diplomatic ties with a commitment to continued cooperation. Speaking with the media following the cabinet meeting, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell said the leaders had discussed cooperation in fields ranging from energy, agriculture, education, trade, and tourism.
Further afield, in the US, vaccine rates are dropping, leading to outbreak in the measles virus. The country is on the verge of losing its status as having eliminated the virus. More from France 24.
For Helen Kaiser, leaving her two sons unvaccinated was out of the question. As vaccination rates drop in her home state of South Carolina, measles poses a greater threat to young children. Kaiser says she felt a responsibility to protect not just her children, but the whole community.
Meanwhile, fuel prices in Somalia have surged to nearly double due to the impact of the war between Iran, the United States, and Israel, which has affected global oil supplies and shipping routes. Al Jazeera tells us more.
In the past, we used to buy